Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We're back, man. Episode 307.
Yes, sir.
Let's get immediately into it right now.
Right now.
Yeah. Darn it. Country Wayne and Shaquille O'Neal mentioned not opening up to a woman. And this kind of went viral on TikTok and whatnot. And I'll go ahead and let you guys be the hear this little clip real quick. Hold on real quick. Here we go.
Open up to a woman?
Yeah.
Never. No, never.
When's the last time you think you've opened up to a woman?
We don't.
Your whole life?
Bro, I'm telling you.
Man, got players like I couldn't. Me and him related.
Yeah.
It's up first time me, but
I can tell you guys, there's some
I don't.
connection here.
Oh, no.
If they gonna tell you can.
Because you know why?
But it's a trap.
Because you know why?
I'm trapped like a motherfucker.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because once you do, whenever something go down, they're going to throw it back in your face.
Well, that's
why.
That's real.
That's why. So you can't ever.
That's why you crackers, your dad left.
Yeah.
Even business though, like that rule even go for business.
Oh,
like you stay up, your contracts keep coming. So it's just a universal law.
All right. So what you get from that is Shaq and Country Wayne basically mentioning you never open up to women. Here's my take on that. Do I think that there's some level of validity to that? I do, only because it's depending on what type of women you're dealing with and what type of man you are. Now, no disrespect to Country Wayne and Shaq, but they kind of tricks. Like they kind of tricks because they're rich athletes and entertainers, and the type of women that they attract, they have to move that way because these women are not dating them because they're handsome. These men have a lot of finance, they're financially secure. Okay. So the type of woman you're going to meet when you're Shaq or Country Wayne is a lot different than me and Keith. We tend to meet regular women and we can vet them pretty easily.
No,
right?
we trophies now.
What do you mean?
We really like that.
Elaborate, Keith.
I mean, we not no regular guys no more. Like we done a live podcast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got 300 plus episodes, like, you know what I'm saying? Not me, I'm in a relationship, but I'm just saying, like, you got access to different type of, situations. So it's not like it's not 2015 Eddie no more.
Oh yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I say I've upgraded about 28%.
You're gonna be throwing percentages on stuff.
Yeah. I've upgraded about 28%. Yeah. So it's a little bit better. But before I was really interrupted by Keith. Yeah, they're meeting women differently than us, right? And I think with me and Keith it's a little different. We can meet a woman that's more ground level, right? And I think it's kind of foolish to have all those fucking kids that Country Wayne has and Shaq, and you can't open up to women. So you could open up her legs and keep busting in her getting pregnant all the time, and she's having your fucking kids. And you trust her to be a mom and a wife, right? But you don't trust her to have a conversation? How the fuck are we ever going to make ground that way? I will say this, though. Excuse me. I will say that I think it's important that when you do open up to women that you have some idea and you have some type of structure to what you're telling them. Because if you just tell a woman your deepest, darkest shit right off the bat without finding a way to really, really give that message and package it a certain way, all you're going to do is stress women out. Mm-hmm. That's all you're going to do. Mm-hmm. You want to be, there's nothing wrong with having emotions as a man, but just don't be emotional. There's a difference. Because a woman dealing with an emotional man, that's going to drain the fucking shit out of her. Mm-hmm. Because if you hear women talking about their friends, they're already stressed out enough about their own friends. Mm-hmm. And like, oh my God, Shelly told me that this happened. It's like, oh, it's so crazy. And then this week, Monica came over and then this happened. And you just like, yeah, your friends are stressing you the fuck out.
Yeah. I
don't even have a reason. I can't even tell you about my shit because your friends are fucking draining you.
People be stressing themselves out, I feel like.
Yeah. But yeah, Shaq and Country Wayne is tricks, man. I don't want to just call them that, but there is a tricking type element to them because they spend a lot of money. Country Wayne still pays all of his baby mamas. Like he takes care of them even though he's not with them. He's like, long they take care of them kids. It's like, bro, you're tricking, man. You're tricking. Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing. So that's the type of woman you're going to get. Mm-hmm. That's what you're gonna get. You can't generalize every woman based on the type of women you're dealing with. Yeah, but I do think there is some type of an element to where that could be true. I will say that there's about, I'm going to say that there's about 52% of women that you cannot open up to.
Okay.
I'm going to say 52%, right? That's over half. I just in general. But I say the rest of the women, they're going to look at you as a guy that doesn't really always cry, and you usually you're self-solving and things of that nature, and they're going to see you crying and they'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, I'm concerned here. What's going on with my husband? Like, I need to, if you're that type of guy. But there are a lot of women who have dealt with a lot of toxic situations, and that's the only thing they know how to do.
Yeah. I'm going to say, like, for me, not that this is like a gender specific thing, but just in terms of like, my heterosexual relationships, I think that there are, I think that a lot of women, not a lot of women, I think that some women have like this idea that they want their men to be vulnerable, right? Like they have, like, why aren't you like opening up to me, or like, tell me how you feel about, like women ask these sort of things or say these sort of things in relationships. But I think that there are a lot of situations where it's not really like a safe place for people's emotions. And I think I think Shaq is more so speaking to a situation where, there was a situation where he probably opened up about his, something that happened to him when he was growing up, and it was met with like the concern and all those things in real time. And then maybe afterwards it was like, like you said, it was used against him. In an argument or something like that, or maybe when they broke up, it hit the tabloids, who knows what the situation was.
Yeah.
But I think that, we tend to generalize people based off of one or two experiences, and that's not necessarily like real, because there are a lot of women out there that just kind of like, they create a safe space in your relationship for you to be vulnerable. And I think there's a lot of women like, and I'm speaking to this because that's kind of like what my new movie is about, like just like vulnerability and like, what it looks like for just us specifically, like a black man, to be vulnerable, and what that kind of does, what that opens up for you. If you going around your whole relation, if you can't tell your girl like, this is what I'm dealing with, I'm stressed out because of work, or, Shaq, I don't know what his stresses look like. The company is folding, or we lost this quarter, we lost money this quarter, whatever the case may be. If you can go to your girl and say those sort of things, and it's not met with like, empathy and care, then I just don't know, like, I don't know like why you're dating that
why
person.
the fuck are you with her, man?
Yeah, I don't really understand that. And I think that that's like, I think one thing too is, like you said, like sometimes you got to package it a certain way when you're delivering it to some women. I think sometimes it's important too to just kind of say what you need in a situation, because a lot of times like people be trying to like solve your problems when you really just like, you just got to say it. Like you just kind of getting it off your chest. You're not necessarily looking for like somebody to solve the problem. Like you'd be like, hey, this is an example of it. You would just say like, hey, I don't need you to like fix this. I'm just telling you because somebody's tripping at work and it's like stressing me out and blah, 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 blah. Like just said, and sometimes you just got to like verbalize it to get it off your chest. And like, I think that's like a good thing to do. But in terms of what Shaq and Country Wayne is talking about, I think they talking about like, I don't know, you see how certain people move. And I just think that they try to like normalize like toxic behaviors, right, and not expressing yourself is one thing to like have that as like a natural tendency.
It's weak.
But it's another thing to just carry that as like a rule. Like I'm not gonna ever tell my girl how I feel.
It's weakness though. It's weakness, because I think like they're like, they'll just use it against me, this or that. Truth be told, it's like this, dog. If you tell a woman something and she weaponizes that, get rid of her.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. It's not a thing of I'm gonna be afraid, like, or I'm gonna hold back and wait. If you tell a woman something and she weaponizes it against you, it's not gonna get better. Get her out of there. Also, too, man, I think that what women do need to work on is stop trying to coerce men into opening up. Like, if a man's not willing to do it at the moment, leave him alone. Let him do it. You know, because he's probably had situations that you don't know about, you know, and maybe there were some things that cut really deep, because when women get mad, they cut real deep, man. They cut, because a lot of times too, women have dealt with men who were just really pieces of shit. And the only way they communicated with those men over the years was by insults and cutting deep, and be like, that's why your grandma didn't love you, because look at how you're acting with me, like shit like that, like deep, fucked up shit. And a lot of men don't even want to relive some of those things, so they keep it to themselves. But I think that as a man, when you move in strength, meaning when you live out your daily life situations and you move and you handle them in strength, but you're vulnerable when you need to be, I think that's perfectly fine. And I don't think women will judge you if you move like that. You know what I mean? There was a comment I seen, and it said, one day my husband came from work and he was crying, and I held him, fed him, showered him like he did for me 1,000,000 times. Right? Basically, she's saying like this instance where he was crying and felt weak, she just fed him, took care of him, and that was it. Like she wasn't like, oh my God, I can't trust him now because he's crying. Because believe it or not, there is a culture of women, and I've heard women say this, that if a man is crying or displaying deep emotion, some women are like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I could trust him because he's acting like one of my friends. He acting like a woman. Like, I need a man that don't got all these emotions for me to deal with. And I think that that's a part of a toxic women culture, where some women only feel like they occupy the emotional space in a relationship. But as men, you got to do a better job of vetting those women. It comes back to like a Shaq saying you can't trust them. Like, nigga, look who y'all dating though. Yeah. Like, every woman you're dating is like a reality TV show host or fucking some level of that. Like, these are not regular women, man. These women are not built to be wives. I hate to say this, but they're not nobody's wife. They're not somebody that I would marry personally.
No, that's real. Yeah. I just think that, like, that's so like 1980s, like, you know, just coming home from work and like just like, you know, working in the freaking mill all day and getting home and like being mad and taking your frustrations out on your wife and beating, like that's that type of like version of like.
I thought you said beating your. I thought you were supposed to say beating your meat. I was like, what?
Nigga, if you get mad at your job and come home from work and beat your meat, that might actually save your relationship.
It might.
Yeah.
You like, these motherfuckers at my job. I can't fucking.
Nah, but
thank you, Pornhub.
Thank you for Pornhub. That's funny. But no, I think that I just think that that's not healthy, dog. Like, if you can't express yourself, if you can't, you know, and it's one thing to like have conversations about your relationship, like, you know, like about like her leaving the clothes everywhere, her like not washing the dishes, or, you know, whatever. That's like relationship stuff. Like, you know, that's like stuff you just got to talk about. But I'm just talking about like worldly stuff where, you know, you are dealing with a boss that is like demeaning to you, or you dealing with, you know, you had a racist situation that you come across or something, like, you know, I think that's where, you know, your relationship should be like the safe space for those things.
I think what helps, this is kind of not off topic, but I think what really helps you as a man, two of the most important things, but just one of these is regulating your emotions. You know, and the reason why you want to regulate your emotions, it doesn't mean that you're suppressing them. It means that you're learning how to process things like as they go. If you do got a boss, or you do got an issue going on, and you learn how to really comprehend what's happening around you, by the time you bring these things to your wife or your girlfriend, you'll literally be able to articulate them much more to where when she receives it, it's not like she's so shocked and struck, like, you know, it's more, she'll be more put in a position where she can show support rather than be like worried. Like, if you come home like, babe, I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to kill myself today. Like, you gotta realize like that receiving that as a person is fucking hard.
Yeah, I don't know what anybody is going to do with that.
What's somebody going to do with that?
You got to call the hotline for that one.
Yeah, like if you've been thinking about killing yourself, I think that you need to do some due diligence in like either contacting a professional or seeing if you have depression in your family. Like there needs to be a level of due diligence that you do as a man before you bring that to a woman. She's not a healthcare professional, my brother. That's your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So I think some people would disagree with what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I think that you can tell her eventually, but you're going to say, hey, look, these are the steps that I took for me to help myself because I was feeling like I was drowning. I felt so fucked up, and I talked to this person, and then your girl's still gonna tell you like, baby, why didn't you talk to me? Like I'm here for. Why didn't you tell me earlier? And now she's stressing you out worse.
What people got. People got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
When somebody comes to you and they be like, like this happened to me. Don't say like, why didn't you tell me, or why didn't you? Just be like, just figure it out in real time. Don't just
hug them.
Yeah, you don't have to go back to the past and like try to like make something of.
So this is how you felt the other night? Be like, yeah. It's like, so I just gave you head, and that's like all you needed. It's like, yeah, I just needed some head at the moment, but I wanted to kill myself, but the head made me feel better.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Give your man some head.
That'd be, bro. They say that if a woman gave her husband head every day, that there is a 15% chance that the marriage will be like more intact. So 15% per day, you do the math on that.
Yeah, that's
over 200+% a year that your marriage is going to be good.
No, that's facts.
Yeah, so ladies, just stop holding back.
Yeah, I
know that some of you guys don't really want to do the head stuff, but it's been scientifically proven by doctors at Harvard. And it's been this
at Trucker's Mind University.
It's been the results have been brought together by men in lab coats. So this is very convincing information.
Could you imagine that test? Like they just put them in like one of those. You know how like the doctors sometimes they be watching stuff through like a window or something like that.
And they got
just
a clipboard
in there taking notes. Yeah, somebody just giving him head. Is like, yeah, he looks much more calmer.
There's no way you could be mad getting head ever.
Yeah,
ever.
Even if it's whack. I think even bad head is like still low key feel good.
It's still head, man.
It's still head. Yeah.
So you'll be sitting there with you'll be sitting with a clipboard, but if you're in there, you're like, the world is crashing down on me. I'm just so stressed. All right. Everything's fine.
Some head will stop a lot of violence in the world.
A head will
This
stop.
is how you fix the Palestine-Israeli conflict.
Oh, here we go.
you get like a super head, a Tiana Trump, and you just line up all the soldiers. And just give them the gluck. Niggas will put the guns down with the quickness. Yeah.
Good, man. Look here. First of all, let's be clear. This is satire, folks. This is satire. Okay, for those that are repeat listeners. But if you got some good head out there, you wouldn't need to worry about a ceasefire. That's all I'm saying. People got head out there.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be no need for that. It'd be nothing but peace going on.
Oh man,
that's the problem. Why so many men out here mad? They're not getting no release.
They're not busting enough nuts.
They're not enough, man. Just walking around full of nut all day.
Yeah, I just can't imagine like the hardest gangster in the world. The guy that lives on like 9th Street or something like that. Like I can't imagine that nigga like wanting to shoot somebody after he got some head.
Yeah, I guarantee you that it would reduce drive-bys by like 85%
for sure.
If it's just a bunch of very attractive young ladies that wanted to hang out with men, went there, the men would not be acting in such a freaking violent way.
You know how J. Cole has a song where he says like, we got a suicide line, but I think we need like a homicide hotline.
Yeah.
I think on the end of that homicide hotline should just be like a
prompt.
Yeah, like you essentially you call in to get some head.
A Headicide line.
Yeah, we need a Headicide line where you just like, hey man, I'm thinking about shooting this nigga from the south side, or whatever. What are we gonna do? Just be like, well, we have somebody available in the area.
We have hot milfs available.
They can be there in about 15 minutes. Nigga just get some done. Like, dang, cuz, I ain't even tripping no more. Cuz.
Why was I mad in the first place?
Yeah, I'm not even worried about cuz.
But hold on, because we don't want to be misogynistic. This hotline could work for women too when they need head.
For sure.
So they could just be like, you know what? I'm so fucking stressed. I have to send all these emails. I have to file all this stuff. I have to prepare all these taxes. And they call the number.
What kind of phone is that?
I guess it's the 90s now. They call the number like, you know what? I'm so fucking frustrated. Okay, my name is Brenda Jackson, and I've been so mad at work, and it's just frustrating. All right, we're gonna send Gilbert over right now. I mean, what is Gilbert gonna help me with? He just says he's gonna bring you, he's gonna bring you some orange juice. It's your favorite drink, and he's gonna give you some oral.
Orange juice and oral.
He's gonna give you some cunnilingus.
God dang.
That'd be crazy. Women, if a woman received good head, they probably would forget everything.
Yeah.
They'd probably be like, you know what, like, fuck those emails. Okay, they're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious, man.
Good head is a lifesaver.
Yeah, man. So whenever now, you can't say that, you'll get fired, and plus the sexual harassment. If like you work at a job and there's like somebody in HR and they're like, Eddie, I've told you, I don't want to have to write you up again. I'll be like, you need some head, don't you?
That's crazy.
You need some head.
Yeah, your boss is like
you'll be fired for sexual harassment.
You know how they do like the Snickers commercial?
Oh, yeah.
Like basically if somebody hungry, give them a Snickers. That's like they needed to remix it with the head.
How are you gonna do that?
It's the same like the same situation. Like usually it's like the angry coach or like the angry dad or whatever, and then they just give him a Snickers, and then everything's like okay. But yeah, they just need like Tiana Trump on there, just giving them some dome, and then they'll be like, yeah, man, I was tripping earlier. It's all good.
Somebody has an affinity for Tiana Trump.
She's just like the go-to, like
she's
the current goat. She's the super head of our generation.
That is look here, man. People know who that is.
Yeah,
people know who that is.
Yeah,
it is the most dramatic. It is like the most dramatic BJs on the whole.
Yeah,
internet.
she's one of the people like that. Because not every porn star is just known for giving like crazy top, but it was only a couple of them. Superhead was one, and we didn't really see Superhead. We just know she had like the name Superhead.
I've seen the videos. I've seen some back in the day.
But she wasn't really like a porn star. She just had like a couple. She had like a couple outings, but she was more so known as like Superhead based off of her nickname. In her books and stuff like that.
You know what I'm waiting for, man? I'm waiting for that Monica Lewinsky video to come out.
Dang.
They said Bill and Monica had a video, man.
They had a video?
Nah, I'm just making
that nigga Whack 100 got it, huh?
Yeah. Bill was like, I'm going to do everything I can. Bill is such a dickhead. He was like, I guess he said that he was needing head for mental health purposes.
Yeah, niggas will say anything.
Yeah, say anything. But I'm sure it did help his mental health, but he's still a piece of shit for it.
Yeah. That's a justification, but it was actually one of the first like scientifically proven justifications.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So he had science on his.
Yeah.
He went and called some niggas in lab coats.
Yeah.
He's like, look, here's the deal, okay? And she came over and felt good, and I felt the being president was very stressful at the time.
Yeah.
Hillary didn't want to do the job, so I had to get somebody else to do the job.
Dang,
man.
Shout out Hillary.
Shout out to Hillary.
Hillary never talk about that situation either.
Nah, Hillary probably giving Bill some angry head.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to run for president one day.
Dang.
Jerking it all hard. Like, I got to get out of here. It'd be, it's fucked up. When it came time for Bill to give head, he was to Hillary. He was probably like, "Look, I don't do that.
Dang,
I have strong Christian beliefs."
Oh wow.
Oh man, we got to move on, man.
We got a whole head segment.
Yeah, that's too much, man. That's too much talking about head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the lady listeners is like, "Oh my god, like I can't." I was gonna share this with my friends, but I can't share this link.
Yeah. We be getting some new. We might get the new. You know how it is. We get the new listeners.
You're like, "Oh my god."
Like, yeah, these guys sound so educated, and it's like head for like 30 minutes. No, I love their take. And it's just head.
Yeah. Yeah. We said what you're thinking. You're just too afraid to say it.
Yeah.
Should have never gave niggas podcast. All right.
Should have never gave
Switching
niggas
gears. Travis Scott offers janitor $5K to take the rest of the day off. This was over at a freaking Travis Scott concert. And it says Travis Scott gives janitor $5K mid-concert. You're off the clock tonight. We fiending, right?
That's a wild.
Like that's not like, come on. Isn't down with the Travis Scott isn't down with the concert venues ordering staff to wipe up mosh pit sweat apparently. And when he noticed it happening in Miami, he offered the janitor the ultimate PTO. Footage of the Trav's Utopia tour stopped Sunday night. Showcased Cactus Jack's generous side after peeping the man wielding a mop to clean up after all the sweaty ragers. He immediately halted the show and questioned the venue's motives for having the guy tarnish his mosh pit's essence. What the heck? That's disgusting. So he wanted him to stop cleaning? Okay, anyways. Travis then ordered the janitor to drop the mop and soak up the rest of the show as a fan because he was paying him $5K to do so. The crowd got charged up by Travis' random act of kindness. He lit them up even more by dropping his Playboy Cardi-assisted Bang Fiend on the crowd, causing them to lose it and sweat even more. Okay. All right. This nigga Travis Scott is inciting violence. That's dumb. Like rappers, I guess you forgot how jobs work, man. Mm-hmm. You can't just pay somebody $5,000 to stop working. Mm-hmm. Like, and then $5,000 is not that much. You should at least offer him 10 if you're gonna do that. Mm-hmm. Make it worth his while, because he's gonna take that money from you, and the venue that gives him his checks is gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna have to let you go." Mm-hmm. So
yeah, exactly.
He probably lost his fucking job over $5,000.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, Travis Scott, do you not have a concept of how real jobs work, bro?
Yeah. It's. I think sometimes you become so like detached from regular human beings and how most of us have to go to work like regular people, and we don't make $500,000, $750,000, $1 million to perform for 30 minutes at a festival or whatever. Like that's just not really how most people move out here. So I think it's cool. I think it's a cool gesture to like help somebody out in that capacity. I'm sure the guy appreciated it, but $5,000 is not like life altering money. And, like you said, he has a job to do. So everybody has a job to do. Right. Even like, at a Taylor Swift concert, there's somebody there that has to do like the worst portion of that. Like they probably got to like clean the bathroom or something like that. And they all play a part in making the show run smoothly, but it's just how it goes. It's a job. You know what I mean? So I think that, it's a cool gesture, but at the end of the day, he's just doing his job. Like he should, I don't know if he should be like acknowledged in any sort of like magnificent way, because that's like the job that he's doing.
Hey, you over there, stop cleaning that toilet. Leave that fucking turd in there and you come out here and enjoy this concert.
Yeah.
I forgot what movie it was where there was a janitor. Oh fuck, what movie was it? They were like on a date, but the dude's dad was a janitor, and he was like, it was his birthday and he was plunging the toilet, and then they gave him like a cupcake for his birthday. Fuck, what movie was it? It'll come to me. It wasn't Wedding Crashers. Fuck, I forgot what it was. It was a hilarious movie though.
They gave him a cupcake. He was a janitor?
He was a janitor, but he had a toilet was plugged up, and he was plunging the toilet, and they gave him he was in there with a cupcake with a plunger. That was so fucking.
I remember.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There's certain movies that stick out. Like Deuce Bigalow was hilarious though too.
I was just thinking about that because freaking
he dropped that shit in the jacuzzi.
He dropped like a
tomato, I think he dropped in there, or something else.
No, I'm thinking about. I think it was like a toy. I think they dropped like some fries in the toilet or something like that.
No. Eddie Griffin was in the jacuzzi and he was eating. He dropped like a tomato and like ice cream and shit in there. He was picking it up, eating it.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh fuck, that movie was funny when they had the scenes like, "That's a huge bitch."
Yeah, that is that line lives in my head rent free.
That's a huge bitch
because it was so random. That's the thing, dog. Like, I don't want to go into like a movie tangent, but like me being a filmmaker, like there was an era of like comedy in like late 90s, early 2000s, which was like, it was like real comedies. Like the intention of the film was like to be funny. And there's like great cinema now. I think, as far as like TV shows, like there's some great stuff out there. But I just don't think like tonally there's like a few things that are not so present anymore. I think one is like the hood drama, like the black dramatic, movies about the hood. We don't have those anymore, and I think that I'll call them like the white boy comedies. Like
they don't have anymore.
We don't have though. We don't have
Dude,
like the
Where's
super
My
bad,
Car?
yeah, like
Wedding Crashers, fucking Step Brothers. There's so many movies. Like the white guy movies are the most popular ones. I would say they go all the way back to like Weird Science and National Lampoons and all that. Like,
yeah, those things. Yeah, even like Anchorman,
all those
like
movies
that.
died, bro.
Yeah, they don't. I don't even know.
American Pie.
I think now we're kind of in those for sure. I think now we're kind of in an age like. I don't know. I don't really know where Hollywood is going. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of reboots and stuff that.
Too many.
Which is like what I realized about like original content. It's like we kind of had the conversation. Like the movie The Creator, it was a decent movie, and it didn't do like great at the box office. It was somewhat of a spectacle, like in the science fiction genre. But if that movie was like from source material, it probably would have done much better. So when you're an executive, you're kind of like, battling, originality versus like intellectual property, and the IP is going to win, the majority of the time because it's proven. Oh, this worked in a book form. This worked as a TV show. This worked as a movie back in the 90s or whatever. So let's try it again. But
yeah. Well, there's that, man.
Yeah.
I'll say this before I leave. I just think a lot of these musicians, they've been rich for so long. They've got a skewed view of what the real world is like. And Travis Scott is a guy that doesn't recognize a lot of things. Like people fucking dying at his concerts.
Oh, dang.
Multiple people dying at the concert.
This got dark very fast.
It happened in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now he's mad because they had a raid session and it was sweaty and the guy was cleaning it up and he was like, nah, leave it right there, man. You off for the rest of the day. We fiending. Fiend. They fucking, like Travis Scott, they go literally nuts for him.
Yeah.
I feel like his fans would stomp somebody out and be like, it doesn't matter. We were at a Travis Scott concert. The guy fell down. He should have knew better than to fall. And like, we just start fiending, bro. And like, he died, at least he died at Travis Scott's concert, bro. Like, we had a good time. You'd be like, dude.
I don't got nothing to say. That nigga's crazy.
I'm not laughing at people dying. It's satire, folks. It is completely satire. If you're a person that's like in any form of arts, whether it's if you're doing comedy or you're an actor or whatever, sometimes you gotta just laugh at life because it's so wild, man.
Yeah.
Life is so wild. If you don't laugh, you'll cry at some stuff. Like, I mean, you're talking about me. You just said if we fucking sent head out to Palestine, it'd be a ceasefire.
Hey, man. Why you got to bring that up?
Oh man, there's people we gonna get canceled. We're gonna get canceled. It's gonna be people go straight to the subscriptions and be like, I'm not listening to them anymore.
Nah, for like Palestine and Israel is like a sore topic for some people.
It is a sore topic. But
I've seen people get so worked up. I'm like,
very worked up.
Yeah.
And I want to remind some people, like, is the shit going on in Palestine and Israel? Is it very important? Absolutely. But let's be very, very, very clear. Right? There are people all over the world going through despair. It's not just happening there. Do not allow the internet or the news to tell you what is important. Do your due diligence and look around the whole globe and you will find somebody going through comparable or even worse conditions. The world is constantly going to be in despair. That's how it's always been, right? It is, but I think it's up to us to recognize that that's what's happening and still lead our own lives. We don't need to get lost in everybody else's problems, man. We can't get lost in that. We can have empathy, deep empathy, right? But at the same time, man, you can't just be sad all day. Mm-hmm. You just can't.
Yeah.
Because the same people that's sad about this are completely overlooking something that's oppressing someone else.
Yeah.
that's just the nature of the world, man. There's always something fucked up. What was that? Remember Coney? Was it Coney 2012? Mm-hmm. That was it a general named something Coney? You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. He was the news for a while, and then that faded away. It doesn't mean there's still not dictators over there. Mm-hmm. It just means we moved on to something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it works, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people need head, man. All right. Switching gears. Tyrese, I don't know why he felt the need to mention this during Black History Month, but let's go and talk about it. Tyrese defends controversial posts wishing he were born Latino. Tyrese set social media ablaze nearly a week ago when he shared an Instagram post expressing that he sometimes wishes he were born Latino. His remarks were underscored by stating that, unlike Black culture, Latinos had not lost their way because they remained grounded in community. He used a video of a Hispanic man overcome with emotions after realizing his family rallied together to purchase him a dream car as a token of appreciation for his countless sacrifices. We can't get anything done and accomplished as a fragmented culture, insecure, threatened by each other, competitive towards our own race, killing ourselves every day frivolously. The majority of us are Black men and millions are locked up in prison, he wrote. Okay, through his post, though his post would go on to acknowledge the Black people were beyond powerful, influential, and successful, Tyrese still harped on the perceived lack of large-scale fellowship and support within the community. Okay, here's the thing. And this is what I do not like. Okay, I think you can recognize the positives that are happening in other cultures. Absolutely, 100%. But at the same time, I hate it. I hate it. When somebody on the internet that happens to be Black is doing something ignorant, and then you generalize every Black person because of that one person. Mm-hmm. You know how many times I turn on the internet and see white people doing stupid shit? You know how many times I see Mexicans, Asians, Indians doing stupid shit on the fucking internet? And I don't say, oh, the Mexicans got it all wrong. Oh, the Indians are crazy. Mm-hmm. Can we look at things on a case-by-case basis, or do we need to fucking generalize a whole culture of people based off of that? It is so fucking annoying. And when I see Black people do this, I'm like, man, can you please shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Please shut the fuck up. Like, if I knew Tyrese, I would have texted him, nigga, take that post down. What are you doing?
That's wild.
That's wild, man.
A wild thing to say.
Like, you're never going to hear me say, like, oh, man, Black people just don't do this, and this is why, this and that. Like, dude, everybody, like Mexicans or Latinos have their own struggles as well as everyone else. Mm-hmm. There's certain Italian people. Like they talked about Rudy Giuliani creating certain laws to like lock up his own people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because it was like, I guess that like mob culture. Mm-hmm. Giuliani was pressing them and wanting to get them the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. Right. So people were saying it was like anti-Italian stuff. Like there's always something in somebody else's culture. There's like in as far as like Indian culture with like Bollywood and whatnot. There's like a colorism situation
in Mexico as well.
Same thing. Colorism is a problem. It's in Mexico, in India, everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of the novellas have a lot of very fair skinned women, and there's a lot of really beautiful dark Mexican women that could be doing these roles. Mm-hmm. There's also Black people in Mexico that people don't know about. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's literally situations that are happening everywhere. I think it's very short sighted. Mm-hmm. You know, to do what Tyrese is doing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, look, we're not all going to agree with our stance. I just think it's a little, I don't know. I think me and Kiva had these conversations off the record. Mm-hmm. Like, just don't look at, like saying you wish you was born Latino is crazy.
That's wild.
Like, that's crazy. And by the way, like, Latinos are awesome, but at the same time, that's their culture. They should be proud to be Latino. And as Black men, we should be proud to be Black. I'm glad that I'm Black.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I wish my name was Jose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eduardo.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing that annoys, like you said, there's a specific example of this person, his family helping him out. And, you know, you just make this extremely crazy generalization about like one community. there's multiple examples of different people from different races doing similar things. You know what I mean? Like, just helping their people out. There's also, we talk about it all the time, like, man, we got to stop killing each other and blacks be killing blacks. And this is the situation. And then you got it coming from the other side, like white people or, black people are so mad that the police are killing them. But what about them killing themselves? And like all these wild takes. But
fuck out of here.
It's like, dog, like, Mexican gangs kill each other as well. There's a lot of, even in Bakersfield, there's a lot of Mexican gangs, and they be shooting each other and stabbing each other just like any other gang. And there's also white gangs out here that be doing like wild stuff. So I just think that like we have these this skewed view of like reality, but in reality, like 9 times out of 10, like these generalizations are not they're not like scientific. It ain't no real study. It ain't no real lab coat, like real research done. And also, like, even if it was, like, statistics can be skewed to support any point of view if you really wanted to do that. And that's what politicians do. Like, they get up there and they say, like, well, 23% of such as this community and this community is doing this, and I'm here to say that I'm going to change that. But it's just like that's not the full picture. It's not like the full scope.
What about black on black violence?
Yeah.
What about black on black crime? What about that?
Yeah, and then they do that. They'll post the statistics of like 53% of homicides come at the hand of a black man, but it doesn't really say nothing because like
it's all
my neighbor is black.
It's proximity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same statistics exist for white, Asian, Indian, whoever. Mm-hmm. It's all proximity. So the black on black crime is just a bullshit fucking stat.
That's like saying, like 100% of crimes in Africa are like black on black crimes. Like, duh, because
it's so much African on African crime going on in Africa, and like they're talking about the white man that's been causing the crime, but why are so many Africans killing each other? Make it make sense, okay? Yeah. It's like, bro, y'all are killing each other also. Yeah, like it's just a proximity statistic, man. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's an ignorant statistic because it's very flawed. Mm-hmm. But I hear that, man. It's annoying though, man. Mm-hmm. Please, can we please stop doing this? Mm-hmm. I don't think it's cool to, like, we just talked about women earlier and how it's not okay to generalize them just because Shaq and fucking Country Wayne are used to dealing with women that they trick on. Mm-hmm. So we can't generalize every woman and say that we can't open up to them. Mm-hmm. There are women who are absolutely capable of hearing what you have to say and processing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So just because you dealing with women you got to pay for, Yeah. Don't fucking be like, oh, because I would never personally deal with a woman I couldn't open up to. Yeah. I could not deal with that.
That's the bare minimum.
It's a fucking stranger in your own home. Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me you could live with a woman where y'all playing house, y'all fucking, y'all doing everything, but you can't tell her what's on your mind? Yeah. Oh my God.
Got to move on.
Yeah, you gotta let that go, man. Mm-hmm. As far as Tyrese, he's had a couple things he's done over the time. He had a feud with The Rock going back and forth. Mm-hmm. I think he dodged that bullet because The Rock would have fucked his ass up.
I think Tyrese is
he's got a little bit of mental.
Yeah, I think he's gone through a lot in these past few years, and he was on the Breakfast Club, kind of talking about what he was dealing with. But I think that I don't know if it's like some sort of chemical imbalance or what it is, but he be saying some wild stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, he do. He said something one time. He had Jess Hilarious sitting on his lap, and and Charlamagne was like, "Don't you got a girl? Don't you got ain't you engaged? Don't you got a girl? Don't you got a girl?" Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Yeah, nigga, I got a girl, but ain't nothing wrong with smelling perfume, nigga." I was like, what the fuck, Tyrese? You're not supposed to have no woman on your lap when
not
you got
your lap, dog.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you ain't Santa Claus.
Yeah, you ain't Santa Claus. Now, me, I could have as many lap sits as I want. Yeah. But if I seriously have someone, get away from me. Mm-hmm. Don't. Yeah,
you don't want that energy.
You don't want that energy, man. Because I'm telling you, I don't want to go on a tangent, but you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there with women, bro. Mm-hmm. You don't want to go. If you think it's cool, you got a woman on your lap, and your girl find it. You don't want to know what she can do. Mm-hmm. You don't want to know what she can do because it'll be your worst nightmare. Yeah.
She gonna be getting back shots from Taekwon.
Yeah. That'll be the worst. Mm-hmm. It'll be like a leaked video just pop up there, her just getting smashed out. You'd be like, oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, I don't got too much else to offer on these topics.
Yeah.
I mean, this week there hasn't been anything extremely significant. You know, as you know, it's not a very important week when we're talking about fucking Tyrese on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. But however, I will say this. I should have talked about it at the top of the podcast. I launched my own solo podcast. The episode is already up. The podcast is called the Oleander Sunset Podcast.
Yeah.
And it is available for listening. Episode 1 was released today.
Nice.
So
congratulations, man.
Yeah, so for me,
I mean, it's cool. Sorry to cut you off, but it is cool because that's kind of how it started. Mm-hmm. Like you started doing your solo thing, and then it turned into this podcast. But it's kind of cool that you're kind of getting back to it.
Absolutely. But the podcast to me is going to be more short form. Mm-hmm. We're going 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to probably 30 minutes max. Just on some stuff that's happening during the week. Depending on how I feel, I'll go ahead and talk about it.
That's dope.
It's more or less like for people in transit that are, they're going to work or, they're playing hooky from the boss. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case, give you a good convo that you could just digest and go on about your day with, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to expand the platform a little bit. It's never too late to do something like that. But
yeah, that's dope. That kind of inspired me because I've always wanted to do something like a conversation around like cinema, but I haven't quite found out how to like package it or anything like that. But I think that would be something cool because I think the thing that kind of scares me away from doing it is when I see other people are so structured. They'd be like, yeah, they got like freaking graphics and bullet points and stuff. But I think that it would be cool to have like a little 20-minute conversation about like a TV show episode or a movie or something like that.
What sucks is this is not a very creative city, so you're gonna start running out of people to talk to.
No, not even interviews, just me dolo, breaking down like I've been watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I'm watching them, I'm like, they have like some really good writing and like, they do like it's an easy, I don't know how to describe it. It's like an easy watch. Because the dialogue is so good.
There's a scene that I shared with you, and I'm like, oh my God! Somebody in the comments said like, I don't think Donald Glover was acting right there.
I didn't see it, and I was like, I texted you. I was like, I haven't got to that episode, so I don't want to watch it.
But like the way he was talking, it just seemed like it was like some scenario that he's came across before. And
I'll let you finish my bad.
Yeah, they were having the conversation back and forth, and like some of the stuff he was saying, I'm like, this seems like personal. Like this seems like something that maybe he dealt with because he just did such a great job of.
Yeah, it's you know what it is like as a writer, and I would put myself in the category is like, it's somebody told me that like I don't know if they told me or if I was just like listening to it on a podcast or something. But they say like writing is autobiographical, meaning like you're pulling from your life to like, write these character scenarios or whatever the case may be. But he mentioned it in one of the interviews. He said that he's married. I don't know if you knew that, but he got married recently. And he was like, so is the other girl in the show, the Asian girl. And they were just saying like they would pull from like different scenarios. Like, oh, this is like something that I deal with in my relationship. And that's kind of like how it goes, like I know for me when I'm writing certain scenarios, like, a lot of it is like lived experiences, like argument between like a boyfriend and a girlfriend or like a conversation between a son and a mom or like, like people, whatever scenario you're just kind of pulling. It almost reminds me of, that conversation in Atlanta when they were camping.
Yes.
Yeah. And
yes,
he was like,
exactly.
He was like, I'm a good looking dude. Like if I don't want to do this without you. I'm like, he probably told that to his wife.
Exactly. Bro, it just seemed too personal.
Yeah.
Some of the lines seemed too real. He said, honestly, he's like, I do good for myself. I'm a good looking person, so I don't have to be alone. I'm like, nigga, that's what somebody would really say.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like somebody wrote that.
For sure. I have a scene, like in the movie we were just filming this weekend. I have a scene in there like, and I would say it like this, like it's not a personal story. It's a story about like a kid, like, and his dad not showing up for something. But I'd be curious to know like what you think or like what other like if people have that similar thing because like it's not real, like it's not a real scenario, but it's like some elements of it are like kind of like authentic. So I would be curious to know like what people think. But yeah,
That's great, bro. You got a whole strip of white hair going up. That's crazy.
on my face.
Yeah, like where your beard's supposed to connect, it's just like the hair's growing back, but it's all white.
Oh, like right here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
God damn.
Yeah.
You're only 31. Well, you'll be 32 next
about
month.
to be 32. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. By the time you turn 33, you look like fucking man. Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's Silver Fox out here.
Yeah, bro, your gray hairs are going crazy. You and Desmond, you guys got crazy gray hairs.
Yeah.
Now, I got some gray hairs in my beard for sure, but I just have like single ones.
You got like regular.
Yeah, it's just like a
Like
little bit.
normal.
In there.
Mine is OD.
Yeah, for me, for me, like my lack of gray hairs keep me kind of looking a little more youthful.
Yeah.
You know, but if my shit just fucking one day just boom, I'm gonna be like, God.
You look a little older.
But I'm not gonna fuck with it though. I'm gonna leave it in there like how it is. I'm not.
Some people be trying to like do
Diet.
the only thing I did a little I like what I noticed like with Donald Glover, he has a lot of gray hairs. But when he's doing like acting stuff, they'll like do like the little
diet.
blackout. But that's just like, you know, TV stuff. You know what I mean? So I think for me, like I don't mind it at all. But like if I'm doing like some sort of like acting thing, then I'll probably like do that.
Kevin Hart has a fucking gang of them too.
Kevin Hart is another person.
My
But
goodness.
I would say I can't tell if he's doing it for like because he's insecure or if he's doing it like just because he's on camera a lot. But he's definitely a person that like
Man.
when they start like coming out, you'd be like, dang.
LeBron, God
LeBron
damn.
said, yeah.
Recently, LeBron James I just think he just had one of those I don't care moments. His hair wasn't combed. His fucking receding hairline was real bad. Everything was, and his beard was so frosty, man.
Yeah.
It just looked so frosty. I'm like, when I seen that, I was like, dude, LeBron's gonna retire. You know, like, there's no way this motherfucker's my age running around on the court. Like
He's been losing too.
They've been losing, man. LeBron's a few months older than me though, but he's 39 out there, bro. I think this might be it. He posted like an hourglass on there. I think he's done after this year.
Yeah, I think when you start, it's easy to be playing when you're winning, or not even when you're winning, but when you're competitive.
Right.
So when you start losing, you like the 10th seed, and then it starts to look like, dang, I got to play 40 minutes for us to be competitive. I think he just like, dog, it's you know, as soon as my son hit the NBA, one more year and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Super Bowl predictions.
I mean, come on, man. We're gonna leave that alone for another week. We'll get there later. All I know is,
the podcast will be I guess they won't hear us until whatever. But yeah.
Do we want to do it after the
I'm saying like the Super Bowl will be done, so people will have already seen it by the time we drop again.
Oh, okay. We could do that then. 49ers, I'm going to say 49ers 38 and the Chiefs 26. I think it's going to come down to the Niners being up, maybe 2 scores to beat them. They got to be up at least around 2 scores to beat the Chiefs. Because if it's a close game, the Chiefs will beat the Niners. You cannot be close to the Chiefs with time on the clock because that motherfucking Mahomes will find a way to get the ball down the field. He'll take a shot downfield and draw a penalty. He's really good at that, especially against Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas has been getting fucking cooked the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a matchup that they're going to try to expose early.
Yeah.
The Niners got to get out on them early. If they do not get out on the Chiefs early, we're going to get fucking killed.
Yeah.
So, Niners they can't be playing like they played the way they played the Packers and the Lions. They will not beat the Chiefs playing like that.
Yeah. I think that I don't have a score prediction, but it's going to be some points scored for sure because you got the best tight ends or best tight end. I would say he's the best tight end. I would say he's the best pass catching tight end.
Yeah.
In the league, and Travis Kelce, then you got the best quarterback in the league. And then you got the best, weapons as a whole, like on the 49ers offense. So it's definitely going to be some points scored. I think it'll come down to the Chiefs' defense is definitely really good. Their defensive line is really good. It's going to come down to like one of those plays, one of those game-changing plays. And I think that will come from, obviously, the defense, but I think it will come from one of our guys. It's going to come from a Nick Bosa, a Fred Warner, or a Greenlaw. And I think that one of those guys is going to make one of those game-defining interceptions, tackle for loss, a sack, or something like that. Strip from a running back or something like that. And I think we're going to come up with it. I just think they're just too hungry. They're too hungry. The one thing that did scare me a little bit is Travarius Ward. They interviewed him, and I think they asked him about, like, how's his week going to go, or, like, do you have any plans when you get to Vegas? And he was like, he said, we going to turn up for the first couple of days, but after that, we going to lock in. And I'm like, bruh, the last time we had one of them situations, it was Frank Gore and Michael Crabtree and all them niggas was out hanging out. Where is they at? Like New Orleans or something like
New
that?
Orleans, yeah.
Yeah, they was hanging out, and we seen them out at the club. And you don't lose because you go out. They still practicing and lifting weights and stuff. But I don't know. Like, if you've been there before and you
Lock
lost.
in, motherfucker. Lock
yeah,
in.
it's just, this is an opportunity that you will more than likely never get again, unless you wanted the Tom Brady's or Patrick Mahomes and you really at the Patrick Mahomes bowl. But outside of that, like, you got to take advantage of this time, because it's a reason why, people be having one Super Bowl or, like, being like 0-1 in Super Bowls and never get there again. So, we just seen a guy in Jared Goff that, he was on the doorstep of getting to the Super Bowl and he couldn't make it happen. So,
yeah, he blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Niners could pull it off. So,
absolutely.
be rooting for him.
Absolutely. All right, switching gears. What we got here? We'll wrap it up. Truck driver had his truck disabled 300 miles away from home. People are warning against giving 2-week notices after a transportation driver says his workplace disabled his work vehicle while he was 300 miles away from his home in Ohio. A viral video was viewed 3.8 million times and has viewers issuing warnings like never do a 2-week notice ever and never quit to your back home. The warning were too late for Martinez. However, the delivery driver filmed himself making a phone call to his workplace after he claims to have gotten stranded in Pittsburgh. The person on the other line confirms that the truck was disabled. Martinez asked him why, and his colleague speculates because you quit. Martinez says he gave his 2 weeks notice that day, meaning he intended to work for another 2 weeks. He said, turn my truck on, Martinez pleads. The coworker on the other end of the call says it's too late. Okay, here's the thing, man. This is what I'll say. I think that if you're at a job that has been fair in certain ways, you can give them a 2-week notice, and that'll give them the opportunity to hire somebody within that 2 weeks, right? And you'll be doing them a favor. But let's be very clear. If a job has treated you terrible and you don't have any intentions of going back and you have an opportunity at your fingertips right there, get the fuck on. Because they're not going to give you a 2-week notice when they fire you. They're going to fire you concurrently. They're going to say, you could be doing everything right. And then maybe one day, I don't know, maybe you went to the wrong delivery place and delivered to the wrong place. And you've been there for God knows how long. And you fucked up once. They can fire you. Mm-hmm. And they'll fire you on the spot for it. Mm-hmm. So, like, 2-week notice is good for if you have as a backup plan. If the new job you're going to falls through, you can always go back and make yourself rehireable. But I think a lot of people are waking up to, like, if you're at Taco Bell, you don't need a 2-week fucking notice. Mm-hmm.
That's facts. Yeah.
If you've been making tacos and getting cussed out by a manager or some shit, just get out of there. You have no intentions of going back, so fuck them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you're working at McDonald's and, you made a McDouble the wrong way and they wrote you up and you're like, you know what? When I get that new job at Carl's Jr. next week, I'm out of here. I'm moving up.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's one of those things where a lot of times I've experienced this like on a personal level, not so much in the job world, but a lot.
Shit.
Dang, a lot of times that mug probably stink. I'm already knowing.
I'm sorry,
This
folks.
nigga Eddie farted earlier. We got this little heater in here.
I'm sorry,
And
man.
it just like circulated around, and it was just hot fart just flowing through here.
I feel bad. I feel bad.
Are you
man.
being vulnerable right now?
I'm being fartable.
Yeah.
That's vulnerability. If you fart in front of you fart in front of your girlfriend or something.
Yeah, farting is definitely
Some of the closest people in your life, you can fart without being judged.
Mm-hmm.
So when Keith told me that it smelled bad, I was offended. Couldn't believe you told me that. Being fart shamed for no reason. I've been trying to hold my stuff in. I don't like to be farting on the microphone, man. I swear to God, I don't.
Yeah.
But when your stomach start hurting a little bit, and you get them gas pains.
Mm-hmm.
That shit got to come out. I'm not going to keep doing that.
Yeah, it's facts.
Yeah, it's better out than in. But go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry, man.
I forgot what I was saying.
That fart fucked your brain up, didn't
Fart definitely messed me up.
it? I said, He said, what happened? Where am I? Where am I?
I was talking about work. Yeah, I don't remember. But
2 week
basically,
notice, man.
yeah, basically there's situations where, like you were saying that the job don't really care about you.
No.
What I was going to say, like on a personal level, I have showed certain situations, certain people, like a lot more respect than I received. And then you look dumb afterwards when you like when you've helped somebody do something and then you ask them like, hey man, like, is it okay if like, can I borrow this or can I use this or can you help me with this? And then you don't hear it. It's just crickets. You know what I mean? So I think that that's the same thing with these jobs, like these low paying jobs and even sometimes high paying jobs. I remember, I'll say it like this. There's been situations where I quit jobs, right? I used to be a bouncer at this restaurant and I was already feeling some type of way about the job because like they would be doing like low key racist stuff. And I used to be at La Mina because I hate when people like talk around like,
Right.
Specific situations.
Yeah.
Like, there was an executive at such and such that, he did something to me and I'm not going to say his name. I hate that stuff. So I worked at La Mina and they were like, in my opinion, like racist, right? Because they wouldn't play hip hop music when black people were there. Like literally if there was a DJ playing like they was playing like YG or something when black people were there, they would say over the thing like turn that music off right now because they were afraid that black people were going to get so excited they're going to start fighting people and shooting people or whatever the case may be. So I was like, man, this job is lame. Like I'm black. Like why are we treating these people like that, right? So fast forward, the job was like very like how would you call it, like very loose. Like we had like a low key schedule, but a lot of it was like, hey man, can you come in today? Like that's literally how it was. I sign into the little thing and then, I get a check a couple weeks later, right? So there was one day, and this happened like couple times in a row. Like, and I'm going to school at the time, so I'm not really tripping. But I would get like, I had to be there at 7, say. I would get a text and it would be like, hey Keith, somebody's gonna work today. Like, so like Alex, he says his name is Alex. Alex is gonna come in today. You could take the day off. Sometimes it's cool, right? Like, man, that's cool. Like I take a day off. I'm tired of, because you got to be there late anyways. You don't get off of work till like midnight. Then another week comes around, and I remember one specific time I was like, it's like a low-key drive from my house to get to the spot. It's on White Lane, or it's on District, and not White Lane, it's on District, right? So I'm like halfway there and I look at my phone and it's a text. Say, hey Keith, don't worry about coming in today. Such and such is gonna fill your spot. And I just turned around and in my mind I quit that day.
Yeah.
So the next time they needed me, right? It was like the next following Monday or Tuesday or whatever, like a Taco Tuesday. I get a text like, hey buddy, like, come in at 7 or whatever. I don't say nothing. He texts me again like, Keith, you there? Like, I literally don't say nothing. Fast forward a couple days later, I get a call from a random number and I answer because, like, sometimes I just answer random numbers just because you never know. but it was the boss. And she called me and she was like, "Hey man, you just not coming in?" And I was like, yeah. And she was like, "What's going on?" I was like, well, y'all called me. Like, I would be like, y'all be calling me out all the time. Like, it's just no consistency. Like, I'm halfway to work and y'all telling me not to come in. And she says, "That's how you move? Like, you just gonna quit like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." She was like, "All right." And then that was the end of the conversation. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, these are the type of companies that are trying to, like, tell you to give them a 2-week notice.
Yeah,
like,
you got to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're not doing anything if all they're doing is, for one, inconveniencing you and expecting convenience, get out of there.
Yeah.
Ain't no need to get them motherfuckers a 2-week notice. Fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you work, let's say you work in you working at any restaurant, and you're getting completely belittled by customers, you're getting belittled by, the kitchen staff, and it's happening every day and nothing's getting better. Man, you get another opportunity, get out.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. People got to stop waiting, bro. This is not like it was in the 60s or 70s where you gave a 2-week notice because you had loyalty to the job. Mm-hmm. Most jobs in America have zero loyalty to you. You will not retire from any of these jobs. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's definitely well over 50+% of jobs you won't retire because AI is taking your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think you're gonna be able to make burgers at a restaurant in the next? I'm gonna say in the next 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
They already doing it now, bro. They're gonna have a whole kitchen staff full of robots with one human in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a machine that flip the burgers on time. They're going to have one that make fries all day. They're going to have one. They might even have one that clean the whole restaurant up. By the way, they may completely eliminate the dining process where nobody can even eat inside. It's all window.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing, man. So yeah, man, I don't think there should be so much blind loyalty to these places.
Yeah, because they when they introduce, I mean, they're already doing it now with Walmart and stuff like that. When you walking through the store and there ain't no cashiers, I would say that people, and maybe this will change in the future. I've seen there be like things are being reverted back to like human to human contact, if that makes sense. So, for example, like I'll go to like Sam's Club or something like that. In Sam's Club, you can literally scan your items and pay for it and just walk out, right? And then you have to go get checked out by the people at the door to just confirm that everything in the basket is right. But in terms of you having to go to a cashier, you don't have to do that. But that line still be super long. Even though you can self-check out, even though you can scan your items and pay for it while you shopping, like it still be long. And even I was in the bank once and I was talking to one of the employees and I was telling her like, yo, one time I was like trying to cash this check and then I went inside and I knew it would be much more faster and convenient. The person told me to go outside and stick it in an ATM. I was like, like I want to talk to a human being, but they was like basically saying like, yeah, now we're getting back to actually talking to people like hand to hand and, developing a relationship with our customers because we realized that like people were complaining about like the lack of like, human to human contact and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a different day and age, but I think overall like these jobs are, they just jobs. And like you said, that you'll get replaced by some sort of robot just as fast as, they want to. They're not going to give you no warning when, they introduce the automated whatever or the artificial intelligence. They just going to tell you that, thank you for your services and get you out of there. So,
yeah,
ain't going to get no heads up.
Yeah. Well, look here, man. We said what we needed to say about this topic, man. And I think it'd be safe to wrap this thing up. Mm-hmm. I do want to end by stating, hey, man, make sure you watch out for the Oleander Sunset podcast. Mm-hmm. Whoa, what's going on out there? No, the mics picked that up.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm figuring out a schedule for it, but there will be at least 1 to 2 episodes a week. Mm-hmm. Preferably maybe Wednesday, maybe when I drop it.
Yeah. That'd be smooth.
Yeah, look for it midweek, but there's one episode available now. Yeah, there's that, man. I've got nothing else, man.
Also, rest in peace to Carl Weathers.
Yes, Carl Weathers, man.
Yeah,
Apollo Creed, the original Apollo Creed, and the ex Oakland Raider. You know, played linebacker for the Raiders back in the day.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know
that dude was always jacked to the day he
had
died.
like the physique of a Greek god.
Yeah, he was always buff, even as an old man. He died at
76, I believe.
76, I believe. Yeah. But even as a 68-year-old man, he was fucking jacked. He was always buff.
Yeah, he was just in a commercial or something like that I had seen. So
he didn't even look old, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see here,
He still
Carl
looked
Weathers.
pretty good.
What was his cause of death? Cause of death. What did it say? Did it even say? Carl Weathers passed. Carl Weathers sadly passed away. Weathers. It's not saying. It's not saying Carl Weathers.
They probably haven't found the toxicology and stuff yet.
What Carl died from? It doesn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, he was 76 years old. Rocky and Mandalorian star passed away. Yeah, for him to be 76 years old, he looked actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very unfortunate that he passed.
Yeah, what a legend.
I wonder if he was still kind of jacked. He looked like he still kind of had some muscle when he died.
Yeah. I mean, he was in such good shape that he and he didn't look like fat. So
Nah.
he probably just looked like, a in shape 76-year-old man.
Yeah, and in the Rocky movie, he was convincing because he really could fight, bro.
Yeah, he was athletic and stuff like that.
Yeah, he really could fight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky was like, they're showing Carl Weathers here, and then Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone is fucking old, man.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, that dude is definitely, I think he's older than Weathers or around the same age. Let's see here.
Yeah, he still look pretty good for his age.
So Sylvester Stallone is 77.
Mm-hmm. Dang, they near the same age.
Yeah. Stallone definitely is taking some gear for sure, though.
You think right now? Or
Absolutely.
Back in the day?
Absolutely. He's taking, at the very least, he's taking TRT.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, because he's still really jacked. But it was one time where he was just super buff. He was old as fuck. He was like 71 or something, and his chest was all big. I'm like, yeah, this guy's on some shit. He's on some sauce for sure.
Oh, it says his acting career was fueled by a comment by John Madden.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because he was a Raider.
Yeah. Dang,
Like this guy really knows what he's doing on the field. He really knows how to really knows how to tackle somebody. And when you're getting the guys in the box and you need a tackle, and then he just starts scribbling on the wall. This guy's going here. This guy's going here.
That's his nose.
And he's running full speed. And he's boom. He hits him. He goes down every time. You gotta love Carl Weathers.
I think that I used to hate on Madden when you losing.
You start talking shit.
Yeah, and you going for it on fourth down, and this nigga is like,
I don't know what he's thinking on this one.
I don't know why he's going for it on fourth down. He should be punting.
Yeah, like man,
I'm
fuck
trying
you.
to win.
All right, baby. Going for it on fourth down can be very irresponsible, especially if you don't got the right personnel out there. Somebody needs to start calling better plays. And you're like, man, fuck you.
Yeah. Number 87 is having a terrible game.
Yeah, number 87 needs to get sat on the bench.
You make your creative player.
Bro, on Madden, every now and then we heard this. And one time me and your brother.
It's a glitch. I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Like, he has running from the cop speed.
Oh, that's what no, that's not what I was going to say.
What do you think?
What I was going to say was, I feel like I was playing Madden once and I heard them say like a last name of a created player.
Really?
I might be tripping, but I think that happened.
Man,
because it would it didn't have the name down, even on 2K and stuff like that. It would just call you by your number.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they said the last name one time. I was like, what?
They have a lot of names you can make up there.
Mm-hmm.
You put a lot depending on what the name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But hey, man, let's get out of here. If you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fins.
We're out of here.
Peace.